They showed up at sunrise. 3 black SUVs crawling up my gravel road, crunching stone like an army of overfed cockroaches. I was on my porch, sipping strong coffee, boots resting on the railing, watching the morning mist roll off the lake. That's when the so-called HOA security team climbed out like they were about to raid a drug cartel. But here's the thing, this isn't a gated suburb. This is my land. And they were trespassing. Again. I live deep in the Tennessee hills, 50 acres of pine, creeks, and quiet that's been in my family for 3 generations. My grandfather built this ranch with his bare hands. This lakefront, private, and mine. Problem is, about a year ago, a shiny McMansion subdivision popped up down the road, and one tiny corner of their boundary kisses my woods. Ever since then, their HOA's been trying to tell me what I can and can't do on my own property. It started with nasty letters, unauthorized dock, visual pollution, then fines I never paid, threats I ignored. I figured they'd get tired. Instead, they escalated. That morning, they came in combat boots, dark glasses, radios clipped like wannabe soldiers. One even had a clipboard. They marched up, all puffed up, and one said, "Sir, you're in violation of HOA compliance protocols." I laughed so hard I nearly spilled my coffee. "Boys, you're 6 miles outside your jurisdiction." They didn't like that. Tried to walk toward my boathouse. That's when things went sideways. I'm 6 feet 3 inches, former Army Ranger, built like a tree stump. When one of them grabbed my arm and muttered, "You're detained," my instincts took over. I spun him, drove a knee into his thigh, swept him hard. He went down screaming. Another tried pulling pepper spray, wrong move. I bent his wrist back and dropped him into the grass with an elbow to the ribs. The last guy bolted for the SUV. I let him. The 2 on the ground crawled like busted raccoons. One was clutching his shin like it snapped in half. The clipboard hero tried to act tough, hissing, "We'll press charges." I just stared him down. "No, son. You trespassed. You laid hands on me. That was self-defense. And trust me, the sheriff here knows me a lot better than you." They limped back to their SUVs. Bent bumper, flat tire, might have had something to do with a few caltrips I left by the gate. I stood on the porch and watched them crawl away. Then I called Sheriff Danner. Small-town lawman, honest guy, been by my ranch plenty of times for coffee and jerky. I told him, "HOA goons just tried to detain me. I put 2 of them down." He sighed. "You serious?" "As a heart attack." He didn't scold me, didn't even sound surprised. Just said, "All right, I'll handle it. Don't talk to anyone else. Between you and me," they crossed a line. And they had. See, this wasn't the first poke. Last month, they threatened to sue me for shoreline alteration. Before that, they demanded access to my private road. I told them to go inspect a cactus. But now they'd sent hired muscle. That meant war. I wasn't waiting for their next move. I set a trap. Behind my ranch, the land dips toward the lake. Thick woods, easy to hide cameras, easy to rig surprises. That night, while frogs sang and the wind carried through the pines, I went to work. Floodlights rewired to blast on with a motion sensor. Scrap fencing bent into a tripwire under leaves. A Bluetooth speaker hidden under the deck, rigged to blare angry bull snorts I'd recorded from a buddy's farm. 2 nights later, sure enough, 2 HOA inspectors, sneaking with flashlights and clipboards. They stepped right into it. Floodlights exploded, bull roars thundered, and one screamed like he was at a haunted house. The other tripped on the fencing and belly flopped straight into the lake. I was watching live on my phone, laughing so hard my dog barked. They didn't call for backup. They just limped away soaked and humiliated. Next morning, I posted the footage online. HOA inspectors learn what happens when you trespass on a ranch. Viral in 3 hours. Sheriff Danner called me, wheezing with laughter. The HOA, though, they weren't laughing. They came back with lawyers. A smug suit showed up at my gate, shiny shoes, waving papers. "You've been served," he said. "Trespassing, assault, emotional distress." I grinned, leaning on an axe. "You boys sure are creative." What he didn't know was that I'd already lawyered up. My cousin's a top-tier Nashville attorney. When he read the case, he said one line I'll never forget. "These clowns are going to hang themselves." Court day came. HOA strutted in with their reps, confident. Then my cousin unloaded the evidence. Timestamps, property lines, letters, and the best part, the trail cam footage. The judge, a farmer's son from 20 miles away, watched one inspector fall into the lake twice. The courtroom laughed. The HOA didn't. Their whole case unraveled. The judge dismissed everything with prejudice, then fined them for trespass, harassment, and property damage. Their lawyer slunk out like a whipped dog. I posted one last video, my lake at sunrise, with a caption. "To all HOA folks who think they own the world, stay off my land. You've been warned." Now it's quiet again. The only footsteps on my ranch are mine. But I still keep those caltrops by the gate. Because when the system fails, a rancher delivers justice. So what about you? Ever stood your ground against bullies like this? Smash that like button, drop your story in the comments, and subscribe for more real deal country justice. This was just the beginning. This was just one of many wild neighborhood stories. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell. Because here at QZ Stories, we bring you the craziest tales of revenge, justice, and neighborhood drama every week. Don't miss the next one. It might just be even